Shakespeare, a man who made a huge impact on language and literature as we know it today. Many words we use today were made by him, such as bandit, lackluster, and lonely of all things. Of course, he's known for his all-time classics such as Romeo and Juliet, Hamlet, Othello, and the one we will be discussing today, Macbeth. A story of ambiguity, backstabbing, witches with beards, and Scottish kings. It is believed to have been created 3 years into the reign of King James VI of Scotland and I of England. After the death of Queen Elizabeth I, there was no one to take the throne, and since she had no offspring, it was passed down to her cousin James. William Shakespeare wrote the play for him as a sort of homage, though more as a cautionary tale of the psychological and societal impacts of regicide, the action of killing a king or queen. This very thought plagued King James' mind for most of his reign, seeing as an attempt was already made to overthrow him. The Gunpowder Plot. Long story short, in November 1605, a group of Catholic conspirators and the supposed leader, Guy Fawkes, planned and attempted to assassinate King James during the opening parliament. This was because of King James's bitterness towards Catholics and Puritans. The failure of this attack led to the execution of all involved, marking Guy Fawkes as the main conspirator. With all this in mind, William Shakespeare set out to make the timeless piece, Macbeth.
Shakespeare was born during the peak of the Renaissance in England and was the first playwright to introduce Renaissance ideas into his plays. For example, he explores the complexity of every character, regardless of their social status. We see this clearly in the character of Macbeth, since at the time, the upper class were basically infallible. This led to the propagation of Renaissance ideas. There are many new words, 62 to be exact, which have come into the English language due to Macbeth, such as assassination and incardinate. Most of the words introduced have a negative connotation, such as devil porter. And this speaks to us about the overall feeling that the play creates, since it is a tragedy. Many of these words are still in use today as a part of modern English. Shakespeare and his work are important even today, as many influential figures were in awe of him, such as Nelson Mandela, and many areas of our lives are connected to him. For example, the play Macbeth has been adapted into movies many times, as recently as 2021 when the tragedy of Macbeth was produced. This causes us to visit and revisit the themes of appearance and reality, ambition, and many more, which make this play and other Shakespearean works eternal and everlasting.
There are many parallels between real life and Macbeth. For example, King James was born in Edinburgh, Scotland, which also happens to be the general area where Macbeth's setting takes place. Another parallel between King James was the book Demonology he wrote relating to witchcraft in 1597 and characters in the play. There are 3 characters in the play who are witches in the play, and even parts of Macbeth that include witchcraft are taken from King James's book Demonology. The play's title and character Macbeth is in reference to a Scottish king who ruled in the mid-1000s after Duncan, King of Scotland, died after ruling for 6 years, who also appears in the play Macbeth. These bits of historical context will aid our understanding of the play as we read.
With all that being said, we hope this project sheds some light on the context of Macbeth. And of course, thanks for tuning in.